Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Justin Powell, and I'm the Chief Legal Officer here at Isagenix. And I am so excited to share with you some legal disclaimers. Oh, now hold on guys, this stuff is important. So this applies to you wherever you are. Whether you're in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, Mexico, South Korea, even down here. So I'd like to take a moment to share with you some important information. You are about to hear from some truly extraordinary people who have accomplished some truly extraordinary things. Most people who join, hold on guys, I know I said I wanted it big, but that's a little much. Can we just, it's better. Perfect. So most people who join Isagenix as an associate earn a very modest income of a little more than $200. And that's great. Based on industry surveys and our own data, most people who join do so primarily for the products and may earn a little supplemental income along the way. More detail on this can be found at isagenixearnings.com. Unlike most people, those you are about to hear from are generally among the top 1% of all associates. Some are even in the top 100 or top 10 of all time. They're the best of the best out of hundreds of thousands of people. So listen to what they have to say because they know what they're talking about. And also realize the results aren't typical. Most people won't achieve that same level of success, but success can mean different things to different people. So look inside yourself and decide today, what does success mean to you? Now get comfortable and enjoy Celebration 2020.
Hello, Isagenix family. I'm so excited to be here with you in this breakout session on how to build your 30-day action plan. My name is Dr. Delray Messer. I'm a retired chiropractor and mom of 2 girls. And about 5 years ago, I was feeling maybe how you and many other people are feeling today. I felt uncertain, both personally and professionally. As a chiropractor who had moved into the online space because I was exhausted working early mornings, late nights, and marketing on the weekends, I wanted more time, freedom, and flexibility around my girls. I felt like a leftover mom where work and life were getting the best of me and my family was getting the leftovers. So I moved into the online space, created a couple of nutrition products, and quickly realized that that industry lacked the integrity that I was looking for. I saw label lying, ingredients being put into products for profit margin reasons, and I quickly realized that is no longer where I wanted to be. I was praying for someone or something to come into my life, and someone shared Isagenix with me at the perfect time. I was looking for community. I was looking for a platform to be able to share a message of health and wellness that I was so passionate about. I wanted to cultivate a community where people felt valued, seen, and heard, and most importantly, create a work-life integration where I didn't have to choose between the two every day. When Isagenix came into my life, I looked at our nutrition for stress relief. I was so stressed and so exhausted as a small business owner. I needed solutions to be able to simplify my days. I needed adaptogens in my body, and within a couple of days, I lit up with energy and mental clarity and had so much passion for the quality and purity of our products that I decided to start sharing it. Isagenix has been not only a blessing for my family, professionally, and the ability to be able to design my days around my girls and my family and my why, but it has been such a blessing to me in the personal growth that I've experienced. The type of action that it took and the hard work is obviously so incredibly important in building anything. And I truly believe that who you become in the process of doing this is going to be your greatest gift. So I'm going to help you eliminate some of those challenges that you may be thinking in your head. I don't have enough time, or how am I going to do this? I don't know enough about the products or the comp plan, or I'm new to this. And I am here to teach you today that if your why is big enough, the how is going to take care of itself. When I first started, I got out our Map to Crystal Executive, went to isagenixbusiness.com, got a hold of the 90-day action plan, and got to work. And I didn't have time to think about the doubts in my head because I had such a crystal clear vision that Isagenix was going to free my family. And when we go over this 90-day action plan, I'm going to be here to show you that it's possible for you too. So we're going to get open our 90-day action plan, and we're going to create a week-by-week, step-by-step process for you to plug into so you can get to work building your dreams. So step one is we're going to create our 30-day goals. We're going to go over our weekly activities, what your ideal week is going to look like with time blocking. I'm going to share my personal story on how much I struggled with this and was able to overcome it to be able to focus on my goals. And we're going to go over what you can do in simply an hour per day and how to hold yourself accountable with our tool called the Leader in Action Formula. So we're going to get started with first goal setting and what it means to set a goal. I believe that a lot of people have a big vision and big goals when they come to Isagenix. If you're here and you're listening to this training, you believe that Isagenix is the vehicle that can create a life with more freedom of choice. But a lot of people, number one, don't know what to do every day, and two, have a lot of fears holding them back. So when we think about creating consistency in your daily action and focusing on the progress of process over the outcome, you're going to be so much more fulfilled in your journey than trying to shoot for a huge lofty goal and missing the target. So we're gonna create bite-sized goals every single day so that you can celebrate those small wins in your journey. In fact, that's exactly how I started as an athlete, which got me so passionate about health and wellness. I was not naturally talented as an athlete. I had to work so hard consistently every single day, practicing to get better. That taught me so much about self-discipline and commitment, which is doing the thing you said you were going to do regardless of how you feel that day. So setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. And we are going to talk about the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is what gets you started, but your habits and what you're inspired by is what keeps you going. I've had to have a lot of personal self-reflection and personal commitment this past year. A lot of personal challenges came into my life and professional challenges. And it was that gut check that continually allowed me to say, this is important and why it's important. So we're going to go into first, setting your goal using the 90-day action plan, but first starting with your first 30 days. So on page 4, we're going to together write out our goals. What daily habits do you need to commit to daily in order to achieve your 30-day goal? So when you break down your weeks, 30 days, 4 weeks, what do you need to do daily in order to achieve that 30-day goal? So I want you to set your 30-day goal now. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock, and we are going to set our goals together so that we can be held accountable to them when this 90-day action plan is finished. So go ahead and start now. Okay, now that you have your 30-day goal set, I know sometimes it can be challenging to know what is realistic. What should I shoot for? I know I had those questions when I first started. I was enrolled about 5 weeks when I went to my first big Isagenix event, and I had a lot of self-doubt and uncertainty in my ability to do this. I heard Lisa DeMeo speak on stage, and she talked about trying to balance being a single mom in this business. And she talked about some of the goals that she had set at the beginning and how important it was for her to enjoy the process while her kids saw her do this work. And when I listened to her message, I thought to myself, okay, I may not know or have an expectation of what is an actual achievable goal here in Isagenix, but I have heard the stories of people that have gone before me, and I know what's possible. So I believe in stretch goals, stretching yourself to be able to commit to that kind of consistency that maybe you've never done before. And even if you fall short, just committing to that daily and who you become in that process to build those habits is going to carry you through not only 30 days from now, but 3 years from now. And that's the way my mind thought. And I often set lofty goals and fell short of them. But because I was so committed to it, I became a different person in the process, which built skills that now apply to my business in such an incredible way. So we got to talk about what's going to stop you, because I think a lot of people, when they have goals, it's easy to set them, but what paralyzes us? And most of the time it's fear. It's fear of what other people would think. It's fear of our capability. It's fear of messaging. We have so many incredible speakers in our breakout sessions and in our trainings that are going to work on all of that for you, from connecting to what to say. But one of the most important parts is to understand that messaging is everything, and your story is so powerful. When I first started, I had my story and I had a vision for the future. And the how of how to create those messages and connect with people, I let it come from here versus my head, because our head is the first thing to talk us out of anything. But when your heart is in it and you can share your 30-second story along with the vision that you have of why you're doing this, people listen. They listen to that enthusiasm, that confidence, and that certainty that this is the vehicle that you chose and why you chose it. Another huge challenge for people about what's going to stop you, because working with so many people in the past 5 years, it's so common to see people commit but get distracted. And there are real life distractions. There are family health challenges like I've gone through in the past year that are real and they are hard. But there's also distractions that just pull us away from our focus every day, which is why time blocking is one of the most important skills that you can build in this business, where when you sit down to do the work and you know what you're going to do, that timer is on and you are fully committed to that period of time of working your business. This was something that I absolutely had to learn, because, and if you're somebody that struggles with it, don't worry. I always call myself a hot mess express train of time management previous to Isagenix, because I was allowing my days to run me instead of me running my days. I would have things come into my life that would pull my focus and attention, and work was the last thing that was done. Or I felt guilty as mom, guilty at work, because I wasn't doing a good job of intentionally focusing my time in either area. So both of them were suffering, and I was struggling with guilt constantly. And it's one of those things that takes people out of this game, I believe, the fastest, is because you're doing this for your family. And if you feel like you're being pulled from them, instead of prioritizing your time to say, I'm going to commit now to have more freedom of choice later, that's where most people struggle in this business. So we're going to teach you time blocking 101, and most importantly, how to build a better you. Isagenix 2.0 is one of the most exciting visions that I've ever been a part of, because most importantly, I know if this company is going 2.0, I need to. And in order to level up ourselves, we need to level up our mindset to become a new version of ourselves. And doubt is one of those things that will always hold us back. But what is the cure to doubt? It's belief, an unwavering belief that no matter what comes into your life, no matter amount of distractions that are in your life, the amount of focus that you have is so crystal clear because you have unwavering beliefs in these products adding value to people's lives, this company always doing the right thing and aligning with your core values, this business model of network marketing in a time that's revolutionary for the way people want to work. I have seen so many people in the last 3 months and talked to so many people that are now realizing they want to prioritize their time differently. We've had a chance to pause and think about what is truly important to us. I personally love more time with my girls, less rushed time, and I realize the importance of being able to work on myself daily. So building that belief in all of those areas is so key. I remember when I first started Isagenix, the doubt thoughts that would creep up in my mind of, you're not going to be able to do this. You're not a good leader. It's going to be too overwhelming. You've never done this business before. How are you going to do this? And instead of listening to those thoughts, I would plug in podcasts. I listened to every Isagenix podcast, whether I was in the shower, getting ready, driving, I'm in my car, or rolling university. I would listen to every leader and what they had to say because I knew if I plugged in and drowned the noise of self-doubt, I would build a certain amount of confidence and certainty every single day that would infuse itself into my business. And I still do that today because it doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter where you're at in this business. Personal development is so key in order to continue to level up the impact that we want to make on this planet. So utilize those tools and continue to work on yourself to build unwavering belief in all of those key areas. We're going to talk about time blocking next. So this is what I love to talk about most because when people tell me they don't have time, I really want to see their calendar because if you show me your calendar, you'll show me your life and what's most important to you, what you're prioritizing on a day-to-day basis. And most of us can look at our time and take inventory of it and realize that we can squeeze out 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour minimum a day to truly dedicate our time to working this business. And when I looked at my time, when my little one was 10 months old and I had my older daughter and we were so busy, I realized that during her sleep, or during her naps, when she was sleeping, those little pockets of calls that I could do while she was playing or while we were at the park together, that's how I built this business and how so many people build this business with a family or full-time job, which is truly the majority of people. So time blocking 101 is what you think it looks like, which a lot of us look at a lot of leaders and we think, oh my gosh, they have it all together. You know, their social media is perfect and beautiful. They must just have everything together all day in order to work this business so beautifully. But I truly want to tell you, of every leader and friend that I know in this company, we all have a similar story. It doesn't look beautiful and it doesn't look perfect. So you may think it looks like that, but really what it looks like is this. And the reason why I wanted to pull a few of these pictures is because I believe every picture has a story. And a lot of times when you look at leaders, you see the glory or the rank that people are at, but you don't see the story behind it. And we all start very similar. It is carving out that time regardless of what's going on in our life because we choose to prioritize our time now. And the pictures on the left are my little munchkin and I, Gianna. When I first started my business 5 years ago, my office was in my bedroom. So the background of all of my Zooms was my couch. And I bought her a little IKEA desk and I bought this, this cheap desk from Target and hers was right beside me. And I remember just getting to work on my computer. I didn't have to have a perfect setup. I just got to work having the conversations and building an incredible team, regardless of what the office space looked like. I think a lot of us prepare to be perfect, but while you're waiting to be perfect in your posts, while you're waiting to be perfect in the conversations you're going to have and the messages that you're going to have, while you're waiting to be a perfect presenter, There are lives waiting for you to just take messy action. And messy action looks a lot like the next pictures. My munchkin is crawling all over me while we're on the patio and I'm doing some calls. I do them in the car when we're on our way to different places, on our way to school or from drop off. This is me in the middle with my computer at Mayo Clinic. Like I said, there are many distractions in our lives, and I had a big challenge this past summer with a close family member being diagnosed with cancer, and I worked my business from Mayo Clinic Wi-Fi on my laptop while I was waiting during those tests. I committed, so I was consistent, and I did it daily regardless of how I felt. And the middle ones were all of the uncertainty that we've felt in our lives, and being able to just navigate and pivot with purpose and still do the work no matter what was going on around us. So we're drawing out you share, they share. I'm doing my work while homeschooling my munchkin. And it is a powerful place to be when you've created habits that become a part of your DNA. When your time blocking and commitment to consistency of working your business becomes something that you just do regardless of what's happening, that's what compounds to huge results down the road. And why is it important? Because it's absolutely worth it. Why it's worth it to prioritize your time now, to have more freedom of choice later, is because we don't know what's going to happen in our lives in the future. I think a lot of us understand that now more than ever. The one thing that we can be certain about is uncertainty, that we're not certain about what's going to happen. With the changes in jobs and automation and the fact that most college students now, a third of what they learn won't even apply to their jobs 5 years from now because of the changes in technology. Because we used to have jobs where we used to stay with the same company for a lifetime. And a lot of people don't have that kind of job security anymore. People are working differently, and they're working to live their life on the front end rather than wait for something or someone to build it for them. And that was my commitment to building this business, is I wanted to have certainty that what I built would transcend what was happening in our world, that I would build skills so that I could always pivot, that I would have something that would take care of and provide for my family and my girls, regardless of what was going on around us. And why it's worth it is because this past year, I didn't know what was going to happen in my life personally. Having a close family member go through that treatment and being able to be there side by side every hour of the day. We have had so many leaders go through some big health struggles and loss in their family. In this business, I don't think I understood the power of residual income until I needed time. So many of us have to say no to the people that we love the most when we want to say yes. And my commitment to this 5 years ago was I always wanted to be the person that could say yes to my family, always when they needed me. Being able to say yes to spending time with my family when both of my grandparents passed away in the past year, and they felt like parents to me on our small family farm. I got to spend weeks with my family instead of saying, I can't be there because I have to get back to work, or I can't be there because I can't get the time off that I need. That was one of the most powerful examples of what residual income has done for not only my family, but so many others. And my question to you is it worth it for you to commit right now and prioritize your time to work in your business, even an hour per day, to be able to have that choice someday for what you don't know may happen or come into your life? I know what my answer was, and I hope yours is yes, because now we're going to get down to the business of what you need to do every day to build this. So our income producing activities is truly the action behind our business. What is an income producing activity? As much as I talked about personal growth and development, working on you, listening to podcasts, listening to even this event, the power of putting it into action is everything. So once you learn something, go do something. Once you learn it, apply it. So an income producing activity is anything that leads to an enrollment for you or someone on your team. That's what truly grows your business. So if you back up and think about, what do I need to do daily to lead to an enrollment for myself and people on my team, and help them rank advance and help them share this gift with people, we need to get down to some basics, and it's truly having more conversations. When I first started this business, I absolutely came in with skills of having connected, having conversations with people. I was the person out marketing at mall kiosks and trade shows, so I had a lot of experience in talking to people. And some of you may need to go out there and do more of that. Once again, we have incredible trainers to teach you what to say, but it's only going to affect you in a positive way when you put that into action. Go out there and practice. That's what I did when I first started, and I was fearful of having those conversations. I was fearful of rejection. I started to feel like people were rejecting me instead of a product or a service. And I just realized that timing is everything, and I needed to have a lot of conversations. When I went to events and started to hear the number of conversations that top leaders had, that they had in their businesses, I was blown away. It was so many more than I ever thought. I thought, oh, they must just, talk to 5 people and all 5 must enroll immediately. And that's just not the case. It takes so many conversations and follow-ups, and I call them like small touches of value for people to be ready. Think about how long it took you to say yes to Isagenix. It took me 7 years to have the right timing as well as the right pain points to view this as a solution for my life, physically, emotionally, and financially. So when you're going out there and you're consistent with your messaging and you're consistent with connecting with people, hearing their stories, sharing your story, following up with value, and simply following up, because you're consistent, you're going to create so many more new connections that you're not going to have to talk to the same 5 people day after day, month after month. You're going to be connecting with so many people, and at the right time, the right people are going to be ready to enroll and get started. So that's my number one piece of advice, is add to your list every single day and practice, practice, practice. You're not going to have the same verbiage that I have 5 years later, because I didn't have it when I first started. I would listen to leaders and I would think to myself, how do they sound so eloquent? How do they have those words? I don't even know how to share my story yet. And I realized that instead of trying to be perfect in all of those conversations or have the answers right away, I just got used to being comfortable asking questions and connecting with more people. And that built the skills to be able to have next level conversations with people 5 years later. So that's my number one piece of advice, is get to work talking to people. Develop your story so that you always weave that into sharing Isagenix. Our 2.0 vision is all about storytelling. And the reason why is because our stories are what relate us to other people. It's what connects us to other people. The majority of my action every single day is connecting with people to hear their story and share mine and see how I can help them utilize their story to make a bigger impact, possibly with Isagenix as a vehicle and platform to make that happen, like it was for me. Or help them in any way that I can by asking those questions of, what can I do to serve you? What can I do to help you? So connecting is a huge part of my day-to-day and always adding to my list. Presenting absolutely takes practice. If you're someone that hasn't necessarily presented Isagenix, at a coffee shop, or you haven't done a presentation with our Ideal Life presentation, I suggest listening to a leader, taking notes, and listening over and over and over again, and just simply practicing or role playing. So I did a lot of role playing with people when I first started, even chiropractic, Before I did an exam, I would do role playing, and even in front of the mirror. And I know that these are the things that most people won't tell you because it looks like we presented for so many years and are great at it. But there was a day where I was sweating as much as you probably are going to before you do your first presentation. But the more that you do them over and over and over and over again, the more you build confidence, the more you build certainty. And I love the training process that we have in this business model. It's one of my favorite things to mentor people. And mentorship is so powerful here because we literally get to align with you and you get to earn while you learn. There's that training process of 3-way calls, 3-way Zooms, 3-way presentations, where you get to do all of this new stuff, feel uncomfortable and fearful, but do it anyway because you have somebody right beside you guiding you through the process. And as you become more confident to then step out on your own, that's when you get to start training your team and start bringing people into their level of confidence and certainty. So what do you do every day to continue to build your business? So our Power Hour plan is our checklist for what to do daily. Again, income producing activities, anything that leads to an enrollment for you or someone on your team. So we have presenting as a huge component to your business. So we have presenting for 10 minutes a day, present the Isagenix opportunity to someone new. Social media is a powerful tool. It's great to be able to continually build connections because that's what this business is all about. The number one objection that I hear always when people start and want to get into action is, I don't want to sell something. I don't want to feel like I'm selling. And overcoming that has everything to do with messaging and sharing your story and being able to just simply connect with people. Social media is a great tool because it allows you to be able to connect with more people, reach a greater global audience. But at the end of the day, network marketing is built on building relationships. And relationships require trust. Relationships require nourishing conversations. Relationships require listening to what somebody's looking for in their life. And I think a lot of people skip over the process of connecting and think social media is the only way to build this business. And it's not. If you think, I listened to an incredible leader ask a room full of Isagenix associates, how many of you enrolled from simply a social media post? And it was maybe 5 people out of 300. And then she asked, how many of you enrolled because someone that you knew that you liked and trusted shared this with you in a conversation? And the 295 other people in the room raised their hand. And it was one of those moments where I thought to myself, how many people quit this business or don't even start because they think they need to have a perfect, social media platform, or they think they have to have perfect pictures and perfect posts, when in fact your story and other people's stories are simply enough to start sharing what we have here at Isagenix. So don't let that stop you. Social media is just one component to continually allow you to build relationships. So don't let it stop you. And then we have our incredible team Facebook pages. So we have support groups where you can start adding value to those pages, invite people to take a look. We have a product page and a business page on our team, as well as challenge groups that allow us to be able to connect with new people, add value, and allow them to take a peek at what it's all about. So it's kind of like a sneak peek of our community, a sneak peek of Isagenix, and it's a powerful way to show our community and our culture. So team Facebook pages are so great. Adding content to those is powerful because as you add people to be able to have them take a look, they see you in there active, posting, recognizing other people, showing how you use these products in your lifestyle, and it's a powerful way for you to be able to continually build your business. We also have our 3x3x3 and 5x5x5. So if you're somebody that's looking to just simply stay consistent, 3 reach outs a day, 3 follow-ups a day, and 3 to 5 value added messages. So what I love to do is call those gratitude reach outs. Gratitude has really been the difference maker in how I feel in my productivity and what I do on a daily basis. I start my day with that. I start my day with reaching out to people to tell them I'm grateful for them, or if they've been somebody in my life that has positively influenced and impacted my life. And it changes my state of energy to be able to say who needs me today. And that 3x3x3 or 5x5x5, or if you're somebody that's looking to grow your business and get into massive momentum after this celebration, you're so fired up about the Isagenix 2.0 plan, you can go 10x10x10. It is just a matter of committing to something that you can stay consistent with. One of the things that I always see after events are people that are excited. They're excited to get into action. Their energy is excited. They're just can't wait. And they do a ton of reach outs, but then real life happens. They come home and then we have to manage our days again. And it's very easy to then do nothing. And that's one of the biggest challenges with consistency, is doing the thing you said you were going to do regardless of how you feel every day. So committing to something that you can do consistently is even more powerful than trying to be super excited and doing a ton and then doing nothing for months. So commit to something that you can do every day. And obviously we're always going to check in with our customers, our new associates, making sure that they're taken care of. The majority of my work in my business is done with customers and new associates. I will tell you, if it's taking you hours to plan out posts on social media, or you're draining your time in other areas, focus on the thing that is going to lead to either enrollment, so new connections and conversations, and nurturing your customers and nurturing your team members for retention. They're so powerful. That should be the majority of what we're doing in our business every single day. Some productivity hacks that I wanted to share, because I'm a really big proponent of productivity. One of the questions I always get asked is, how much time is it going to take me per day in order to get to this level of rank or income in Isagenix? And I say, well, I don't know. How efficient are you with your time? How productive are you? What could take someone 6 hours, someone else could do in an hour. So you have to ask yourself, when you are sitting down to work, what are you doing? And is it working? So I always ask people, are you reacting to your time, or are you intentional with your time? So winning your day with a morning routine, if I interview across the board, not only Isagenix leaders, but if I interview, other entrepreneurs that have been so successful, that have the same 24 hours in a day that you and I do, I can guarantee that in some part of their day, they're intentional with their time. They're intentional not only daily, weekly, and monthly, they're intentional in their minutes. And when I started to get intentional in my minutes and got off the choo-choo Hot Mess Express train, my life changed. I started to become more happy and fulfilled in the journey. I started to be a more present mom, where I could actually enjoy park time and beach time and then get to work when I sat down. And I started to create this life where I respected my time, so other people started to respect it. And I know when I am off, and you probably do too, the clue and key to you being off in your time management is usually you start to feel stressed and overwhelmed and chaotic, and you don't know what to do when you sit down. So if you can win your day with a morning routine, and you know what, if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, you don't have 10 minutes for your life. Like, that's truly how important this is, to put your oxygen mask on first. And what does a morning routine look like? It's anything that gets you intentional and focused with your time. So think about a gratitude journal, prayer, meditation, personal development, getting that done first thing in the day, looking at your day the night before and time blocking it so that you know what's coming throughout the day. And most importantly, don't get pulled into other people's distractions. That used to happen to me a lot. I was helping a lot of people solve their problems instead of focusing on my own calendar. So ask yourself, what are you excited about today? Get super curious. Who could I surprise today? Who could I help feel valued, seen, and heard today? And most importantly, weaponize your work hours. When you sit down in that chair, you know specifically that you're going to do your reach outs, your follow-ups, post in that page. You're going to be creating those new connections and conversations, and you're going to be following up with your customers and associates. Who needs you on your A game today? And it's why our products are so powerful, and why being a product of the product I feel is so important, because this physical vessel is carrying out your message, is carrying out your energy. It's why we need to take care of it. Generating energy daily is what top high achievers and performers will do. They know how to generate their own energy without external validation. They don't need somebody there patting their back saying, did you do your work today? Did you get to it? And most importantly, they do it themselves. They sit down and they can generate the energy necessary to get to work, to create the action. So don't get caught up in the time of your tasks. Get connected to the outcome of your efforts. I'm going to say it again. Don't get caught up in the time of your tasks. Get connected to the outcome of your efforts, because you could be doing a lot of busy work with very little productivity or an outcome that you desire. So want to get more done in your day, like I did 5 years ago? Create the team. When I started to study what it meant to have a life with more freedom of choice in my time, I knew that I could never do it alone. And especially in a business like this, what's so powerful is as we're building a team, we're building more freedom of choice, not only for us, but for them. So you are the architect of your ideal team. And when you're working with people together on a collective vision, it's fulfilling, it's purposeful, it's fun, and it's energizing, and it's not draining. So ask yourself, I mean, truly, how do you feel when you go to work on your Isagenix business? How do you feel when you open up that back office? A lot of people, when they get to certain ranks, they worry about losing that rank, or they have a lot of fear of hitting it, but then falling back. I want you to be confident and certain that you're going to continue to rebuild a new team. It's like a new team 2.0 every single month. That's how I view my business. Who's the new class that's coming in quarterly? Who are the lives in this next month that are going to be different because I chose to continue to grow myself and stay consistent month after month after month? So we have an ability at Isagenix to share something so powerful, which are our stories. Word of mouth marketing is built on storytelling. And now more than ever, my passion is helping our customers create their 30-second stories. In fact, that's how our team has built so much momentum recently and rank advanced so many people, is simply going back to the basics of grabbing our happy customers and asking them, how did you feel before you found Isagenix? Who introduced you? What do you feel now? What are you excited about? And being able to message for the time that we're all experiencing allows people to be able to relate to another human. In fact, if you're really paying attention to marketing right now, that's exactly what companies are doing. They're utilizing the stories of their customers, overpaying for huge marketing fees of ads that don't speak to humans. And that's why Isagenix is it's in such the right place right now. We are primed for growth because our products work. They produce not only physical results, they produce emotional results. And if we can start sharing more stories, yours and the people that you're bringing on, you don't have to worry about any perfect post. The story in itself is going to do enough to speak to another human who's looking for these solutions. So what we do after we share our stories, and this is a huge part of my income producing activities daily, which is why I wanted to share it with you, is this is our system. We call it Ad Tag Message, or ATM. So utilizing social media in a way that increases exposure to stories is powerful. So don't try and sit there and think for hours of the perfect post. You can have one written in a minute just by edifying the story of someone on your team or another leader or recognizing them. And then the follow-up system to that post is adding them to the private group, either a product group or business group, or if you don't have one of those, go create one yourself. Or if you don't utilize social media platforms, you can always use iSamovie and obviously text people. So then we tag people in content that's relevant to them in those pages, and then three-way message intro them to a leader to help that brand new person that just shared their story get introduced with their new person to a leader that can then lead to a three-way call or a three-way Zoom. So they're in training while they're learning the verbiage. It's so powerful. It's so simple. It works so well. Utilize this tool. And I think the most important part of all three of those in ATM is the message. The message introduction is validating the common ground between those two individuals. So it's your brand new person that is going to share with a new potential customer, and you as the leader and introducing them in that message allows that leader to then share their story and get them connected on a three-way call or Zoom. It makes that process so simple and effective. And then obviously holding yourself accountable. Leader in Action formula is so amazing, especially the new one. I love it because it allows everybody to win. Following the Leader in Action formula is your accountability. All of our contests at Isagenix, everything that we do with trip incentives, Leader in Action, all of it is done with this formula. And the reason why it's great to be able to focus on it and fill it out every single week and send it in to a leader, that's what I have my people do that are going to executive, is I have them send it to me. Because the accountability is to income producing activities. And you'll quickly see which area do I need to improve on weekly if I'm 0 in a category. You know, if my enrollments are down, or my personal rank advancements, or my weeks active at a certain rank, do I need to get to executive? You're literally going to be what's sitting in front of you is truly the outcome of your efforts. And if you're not connecting with new people, or it's been a while since you've created new connections, you're probably going to be down in personal enrollments. That's something that happens very commonly when people build to executive. They get into management mode and they stop enrolling new, and their business plateaus. I see it very commonly. 80% of this business should be connecting with new people and enrolling new, and 20% should really be managing, training your team, and helping others. So it's always focusing on those new people and rank advancing your team once they come in. And then I love this quote, because accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the result. And you will be able to see by being held accountable how consistent and committed have you truly been to produce the outcome that you desire. When I first started that Map to Crystal Executive, all you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. I had it everywhere. I had it on my bathroom mirror. I drew it out in lipstick on my bathroom mirror. I had it in my car. I had it on my fridge. Everywhere that I could see it was that Map to Crystal Executive and the path with purpose, highlighted cycle ranks, and I visualized it. And I had to continue to see people on that map. The map is everything. And you know now why it's so powerful to be able to get to executive and stay there with our new executive lifestyle bonus. Executive creates and duplicates leadership. It steps you into a system designed to be able to maximize your results in this business. So focus on the Map to Crystal Executive, be held accountable with the Leader in Action formula, and most importantly, start to visualize the lives that are going to come into your team, that are coming into your organization. If you would have asked me 5 years ago if any of these pictures would have been possible, I would have said, I don't know. I'm in such a tough place in my life. I'm so uncertain. I don't know if I believe in myself enough to make this happen. But I did the work daily. And my biggest takeaway is that the action that I got into cured my fear. Action cures fear. When you are in action, you don't have time to think about what you're afraid of. You instead get to work serving people. And when you get out of your head and into your heart and into a place of service, especially in the place that we are in our world today, there are so many problems to solve. There are so many people that need help. There are so many families that are looking to simply bridge an income gap in their home right now. There are so many people that crave community. There are so many people that crave being seen and valued and heard for the first time. I can't believe how many people tell me they've never been recognized for their efforts or who they are before ever in their life. I believe in this life where we can integrate our work that is purposeful, that is mission driven, that can make an impact in healthcare and the way that we live our lives today. And I believe that community and support are everything. And Isagenix has allowed me to not only create a 7-figure income, but be able to become truly the best version of a mom and leader that I've always wanted to be. I truly believe that happiness and fulfillment is found when we find something to live for that's bigger than us. And I found that here, and I believe that you will find it too when you focus on the action necessary daily to build a life with more freedom of choice. And what this income has given me is the ability to give back like I've never thought possible. I worked on a school garden project with my daughter this past year. I was able to donate to a relief organization and actually do relief work with my munchkin. We went and rebuilt homes after the flooding in Omaha, was able to go to Puerto Rico, and recently wrote a book and a children's book to help children process emotional trauma post-natural disaster, post-pandemic. It was one of the most fulfilling feelings in my entire life. There's so much work to do on our planet. We need more people like you thinking abundantly and going out there and serving people every day. And lastly, I have a call to action for all of us. I would love for you to share your 30-second story along with your goals for the next 30 days with a picture of yourself, maybe in your work environment. This is my daughter, McKenna, and she was a large part of my why when I started. When I started chiropractic school, she was 3 months old, and she was basically raised by daycare the majority of her life. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, if I could create a life where I got to choose the amount of time that I spent with her, every minute of that hard work would be worth it. Our relationship now is that of something that I just dreamt about. It is so fulfilling to be able to know that my daughter is proud of her mom and watched her. And that's what I want to challenge you to do. Is it's not the outcome that you're going to be most proud of with Isagenix. It's who you've become because you chose to commit to it every single day. Now let's go out there and share the Isagenix 2.0 vision with the world. And most importantly, you become the 2.0 version of yourself to make that happen. I am here to help you, support you, breathe belief and life into you when you need it. And we are going to do this together. I believe in you and know you can.